Welcome to another VeVe Digital Collectibles Breakdown video. I'm Corey with VeVe, and today I'm super excited to not only discuss our upcoming release in partnership with ElmonX, but to talk to the immensely talented artist who actually created these collectibles. Nathan, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Can you give us a brief explanation of who you are and what you do?
So my name is Nathan Sawaya, and I'm an artist that works with an unusual medium. Instead of normal things like clay or wire, I sculpt out of Lego bricks. So all my art is made out of those childhood bricks you had long ago. I use them to create art.
And Nathan, you're an artist after my heart. If you see in the background, my son and I have built Legos for many, many years, but the difference for us is that all of our Lego builds come with a step-by-step instruction guide. You, on the other hand, are creating from your mind's eye. Can you explain to us a little about your process?
It's a long process. It all starts with the idea, of course. Fortunately, having multiple art exhibitions, I do get to travel a lot. So I carry a little sketch pad with me. I jot down ideas as I go. Once I have a concept, I will try and make a plan. I want to envision that final piece in my mind before I even put down that first brick.
One of the most interesting things about your journey as an artist, Nathan, is your background. You come from a legal background and you spent most of your life in that realm. At what point did you transition into art, and what was the rationale?
Yeah, I was practicing law in New York City. I was a corporate lawyer doing full days at a law firm, and I would come home in the evening and I would need some sort of outlet. You know, some people go to the gym at the end of the day. Some people hit the bar at the end of the day. For me, I just wanted to do something creative to kind of ease my mind, take it in a different direction from the legal practice. So I would paint, I would draw, I would sculpt. And again, I was sculpting out of traditional things like clay or wire. And it was just one day I thought, what about this toy from my childhood? Could I use it to create sculpture? I just started experimenting, put a little website together and started getting commission work. And I was working these full days at a law firm. And then in the evening, I was doing commission work for 6 to 8 hours. So it got to a point where I was like, I got to make a change. And I left the law firm behind and became a full-time artist that just plays with toys all day.
Let's switch from the physical world into the digital world. In terms of animation and movement and motion, in the physical world, you would require batteries and motors, and you'd have to adhere to the principles of gravity and engineering and physics. What has the digital space allowed you to do in terms of thinking of how you're sculpting and what you could do with those sculptures?
It's very exciting because working with Lego bricks, there are real limitations what can be done physically to add kinetic motion to the sculptures. It requires a lot of maintenance, requires a lot of discipline in a different area than I'm used to. But what I found is in the digital space with these digital collectibles, you can add animation that is just, it takes it to a whole nother level. It expands what the art can be. So that's really exciting to see how these sculptures that have been static their entire lives now have some movement to them.
Speaking of static, it's really amazing to think about some of your large-scale work. I believe that you're in the Guinness Book of World Records for largest Lego build of 80,000 piece, your T-Rex, which is in your exhibit. It's some 20 feet long, but it has to be suspended from cables to be safe for people to see and walk around and enjoy. Now that you're transitioning some of your works from the physical space into the digital space, do you look at some of those pre-existing works, especially some of your more famous ones, and think, I could maybe make this a digital collectible?
It's more of a thought process now that, these digital collectibles could have animation to it. When I'm building the original sculptures, it wasn't a thought because I was more worried about safety and engineering and how this is going to be displayed. But now that these works are done and we can go back and look at them and say, how could we put some animation into it? It's interesting because it really opens up a whole new world for this type of art.
All right, Nathan, we're going to switch gears really quick and we're going to go over the drop details for this Transfiguration Series 1 I'll have you right back to give us some more deeper insights on each of the pieces that's releasing. Nathan Sawaya's Transfiguration Series 1 will release on Saturday, August 19th at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. This waitlist drop will require collectors to make a hard decision between the 3 collectibles that are releasing in this series. First, we have Red Reaching coming in as an ultra rare, and it will be minting 600 editions with a price point of 50 gems. And Nathan, this was the very first piece that you sold at your first solo gallery show. Can you give us some deeper insights into the inspiration behind this one?
As you can see, there's a lot of detail into it. I probably sketched this out 4 or 5 dozen times before I actually started putting down those bricks. And it was a slow process. I really struggled with how the hands look and how the face looked. I really never explain if the figure is sinking or reaching, or is he coming up, is he going down, what's happening there. And I think it's interesting because it puts the figure in this metamorphosis. It's going through this transition. It may be sinking, it may be rising up. I leave that up to the viewer. I think the viewer needs a role in interpreting the art, and it's a specific role in this case. Is what do you see this figure doing? Is it sinking into the ground? Are you glass half full, glass half empty? What's happening here?
Next, we have Green Torso, also coming as an ultra rare, minting 600 editions and also with a price point of 50 gems. And this one has that animation. Nathan, can you walk us through this piece?
The Green Torso piece, it goes back to just kind of how I felt. A lot of these personal pieces that are original artworks are just my own personal journeys. I've gone through some journeys that have taken me to dark places, and this might have been one of them, where I just wanted to just kind of, let's just say rip my head off, right? Like, it was just like, I wanted to just change what was happening. And it's, again, about that metamorphosis, changing what is going on in your own world. And in this way, you see this figure tearing its head off, or maybe it's putting its head on. I'll leave that up to you. Again, it's Lego brick, so it could be just building itself, right? But the idea with the animation that we've added to it is that you get to see that. You get to see the head going up and down on the torso. And that was always the intention from this, like trying to capture that moment. So actually having it animated, it kind of fulfills the destiny of this piece.
And finally, we have the Rider coming in as secret rare, minting 450 editions with a price point of 60 gems. The original sculpt for this one was 3,120 bricks, but don't let its small size fool you. Nathan, tell us the big story of this piece.
The Rider came about years ago. It was actually inspired by my English teacher in high school, Ann Johnson. And, I wanted to just capture, writing as a concept. And really, I had done a series of oversized pencils, and I thought, well, let's put the pencil into the hands of a figure. And it was really just that simple. It's this figure holding this very oversized pencil, but also the piece is not that large. It's less, it's not even half life size. So it just came together and worked as it was.
And that's all the pieces releasing in this Transfiguration Series 1. Nathan, do you have any words you'd like to share with our collectors about art or this release?
If creating art makes you happier, if creating art makes you healthier, if creating art makes you smarter, let's have a little more art in the world. And I'm hopeful that this digital release of these type of artworks, where I have these new digital collectibles, will really expand people's appreciation of this type of art and hopefully inspire more folks to create art.
And with those final words, that's a wrap for this breakdown video. A massive thank you to Nathan for coming to speak with us about this Series 1. As a massive Lego nerd myself, I'm super excited for this one, and best of luck if you decide it is for you as well. Until the next breakdown video, keep learning, sharing, and collecting what you love. This is Corey with VeVe, signing off.